Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Workers with the WSIB here in Thunder Bay and across the province have been on strike for over 2 weeks with no deal in sight. Local MPP Lise Faujois raised the issue at Queen's Park this past week and called on the government to use the WSIB's funding surplus to raise the pay for those employees.
The WSIB, created to support workers injured or made ill on the job, has been turned into a pre-election handout to bosses by robbing from funds intended to support injured workers. In the meantime, people who work at the WSIB have been striking for over 2 weeks to increase staffing so that they can provide timely service for injured workers at one of the lowest points in their lives. Why is the WSIB, with the support of this government, imposing unsustainable workloads on their own workers, leaving them unable to fulfill their core responsibility to support those made injured or ill on the job?
Speaker, that's just patently false. Workloads have decreased by 60%. We're happy, Speaker, that both sides are at the table. We're encouraging a best deal to be landed at that table. Speaker, that member has consistently stood against investments in skills training, investments in projects that are going to elevate the lot of workers, investments that are going to bring good-paying jobs to support workers. Workers want to get back to work healthy, Speaker, and we've reduced the lost injury time because we have a sustainable WSIB.
The City of Thunder Bay is creating a new task force to help identify gaps in animal services. Applications are now open for community members interested in taking part. The group will come up with concepts on how to improve animal services in Thunder Bay. The city is looking for applicants with experience working with animals through veterinary work, rescue groups, or other animal welfare roles. They are also seeking anyone who has a genuine interest in collaborating for the future of animal services in the city. City policy and research analyst Kristen Lovato-Day says the task force's work will be essential as the new city reviews and reshapes its animal service model.
It's really important to the City of Thunder Bay that we work together and to the community so that all of our services can work together and fill in those gaps, so that we are looking to animal welfare and the well-being of our community. Our community is very pet-centric. We want to make sure that dogs and cats are well taken care of, and we are a part of that system, and so are the rescues and the other organizations, and we need to be able to collaborate.
Applications are open until June 16th. More information on the process can be found on the city's website. The Thunder Bay Public Library has announced the appointment of Stephanie McLaren as their new Senior Advisor of Indigenous Relations. The position was developed in 2018 and is meant to take action on the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and decolonize the library's practices and spaces. McLaren is a Anishinaabe from Fort William First Nation and is a longtime resident of Westfort. She will oversee the Indigenous Services Department and serve as a liaison to both the Indigenous Advisory Council and organizational partners. McLaren says she's looking forward to making library services more accessible to Fort William First Nation.
Bridging the relationships between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples, communities, organizations. I think that there's a lot of work that can be done to improve that relationship and really bring us to the forefront in how Indigenous and non-Indigenous people proceed and maintain their relationships. Really excited about some of the action plan items in the Relationship Building and Reconciliation Plan that directly link to my home community, Fort William First Nation, and such things as library services in the community.
Really excited to have her. We think she's going to be a great contribution to the library staff and something that the community will really see in action in the community, in the library, bringing the two together and making a big difference in how we evolve, both in our policies, procedures, programs, and our spaces. We'll be seeing her marks all over the library system over the next couple of years.
McLaren adds she's excited to bring new practices and ideas to the Thunder Bay Public Library branches. A new project called Park Your Stories is encouraging community members to get together in local parks and spend some time writing about anything and everything in their lives. A launch party was held at Heath Park this past week to kick off the monthly gatherings happening around the city. The Park Your Stories gatherings happen once a month and are free to attend and open to all ages for those who wish to write about their personal lives in local parks and green spaces, amongst others who share the same interests. Founder of Age Big, Nancy Angus says those who attended the launch event had a sneak peek as to what the next few months have in store in parks all across our city this summer.
It's a result of an Ontario Community Changemaker award that I received, and I love stories, and I wanted to get people taking advantage of our beautiful outdoor parks in Thunder Bay, and we write a few stories. We write like usually 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then we share some of the stories together.
In honor of the day, students from the culinary course at Westgate High School were serving snacks and beverages, and a few other students got a chance to unveil 3 community benches they designed and painted, as well as a metal sign that will be cemented into the ground for the community to enjoy.
You can look forward to lots of colors in our benches. We also have themes for each one of our bench. My bench is following a blue jay theme that was inspired by Elder Eli's story about seeing a blue jay for the first time. It's a big opportunity to get out into the art world and help out with community.
I was thinking of having a positive quote for people to come and sit and enjoy themselves, especially after the pandemic, because people are scared to go out after that. Even though it's been so long, if there's something in a park that they like to go see, it helps them get out of the house.
Angus says the people here are already creating new friendships.
People are learning so much about each other by just sharing some of their personal stories that they've written. So that's what we're excited about, is just to see how people can become friends with someone through stories.
The next Park Your Stories gathering will be held on Wednesday, July 23rd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Central Avenue Natural Environment Gardens. And anyone interested can visit the Age Big website for more information. And Thunder Bay's Kite Festival returned to Chippewa Park for a free, family-friendly day featuring a wide variety of activities for all ages to enjoy. Rain or shine, residents enjoyed the event and kites were seen flying in the cloudy skies. The festival also offered face painting, a bouncy castle, and much more. Thunder Bay special events developer Karen Kadoff says despite the weather, a large amount of participants came out to the festival.
So we are out here for a Kite Festival, and so yeah, it's been a little bit wet, but despite that, we have had a pretty decent turnout. Luckily, we have been able to run everything that we planned on running, so that's kind of nice. But definitely with the weather, it has definitely impacted. We've heard that I think it's raining in town a little bit more than it's been raining out here, so it's definitely slowed down things a little bit from last year.
I'm glad that we decided to brave the weather and
come out
during the little.
Yeah, we weren't sure how the rain was going to be, but turned out actually really nice. So
yeah. And he's
having a lot of fun.
Lots of fun. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Kadoff says this is Thunder Bay's first green event taking initiatives like eliminating paper products, increased recycling, shuttle service to cut down on emissions, and weighing the garbage and recycling to make improvements for future green events. Road Angels motorcyclists of Thunder Bay revved up for their second annual Rough Ride and Barbecue fundraiser with a goal of $3,000 that will go to animals in need. The Angels and fellow motorcyclists gathered in the Harley-Davidson parking lot for a fundraiser benefiting the Global Alliance for Animals and People, featuring a barbecue lunch, door prize tickets, donations, and Rough Ride t-shirts. Hands to Paws North volunteer Nikki Burns says this fundraiser will help sponsor a spay and neuter clinic in a northern community.
It's an amazing group in Thunder Bay called the Road Angels. They hold fundraising events, and this year it happens that they're going to help sponsor, or they're raising funds for the Global Alliance for Animals and People. That's not a group that's in Thunder Bay, but they come up to Northern Ontario to do spay-neuter clinics in First Nation communities, and this particular event is helping to sponsor a clinic this September in Wapakika First Nation.
We are here today to support the Rough Ride. We're going to have a ride out the highway. We're going to end up out Kakabeka Road, Kakabeka Falls, finish up out there. And rain or shine, we're here to shine on and have a good time.
Burns says it's critical that fundraising groups hold events like this to support northern communities' access to veterinarian services.